Plumbers, I'm going to show you exactly how we've been able to generate over 800 calls in a single month for one of our plumbing partners. To be exact, we generated 867 calls, okay? And then these are drains, sewers, water heaters, emergency, and hydrojetting calls. So if these are the type of calls that you want, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in this tutorial video. Here's another example of one of our clients. We generated 55 calls within the last 30 days of this year. And lastly, here is an example of another plumber who we've been able to generate 50 calls within the past 30 days. Okay. And so not everybody's going to be generating 860 calls. It just really depends on how big your business is, right? You're probably, some of you guys might not be able to handle an extra 800 calls, but most of you guys could probably handle an extra 30, 50, or 90 calls in a single month. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to do that in this video step by step. All right. Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Jordan. I am the founder of JLE Media, and we are a Google Ads agency that has really mastered the system on generating high quality leads that actually turn into customers for your business, which means we have a system in place that targets customers who are ready to buy, who have the intent to hire your services. So that means no more having to chase after low quality leads that don't pick up the phone, no more having to work with third party vendors who are, giving you shared, recycled leads, and no more having to do SEO where it takes you 3 to 6 to 9, 12 months to rank on the first page of Google, just for Google to, start the algorithms all over again, and then you have to re-rank on for SEO. So with this system, it's very quick. As soon as you have this campaign set up, you'll start generating new calls from ready to buy customers within 48 hours. Okay. And as you can see here, we managed pretty much close to $12 million in ad spend now on Google. So we have a lot of data on what works and what doesn't. And so you're gonna be able to skip that whole entire learning curve by watching this video. All right. And so here is actually one of my clients' ad account where he spent over close to $3 million in ad spend, this plumber. And as you can see here, the conversion rate is close to 30% conversion rate. All right. So if you guys are currently running any type of Google ads, I want you to go into your dashboard and take a look at what your conversion rate is. Okay. You can, if you don't see it, you just click on one of these arrows here, click on conversion rate, and it's going to tell you. And what this means is that, it's going to tell you out of how many people are clicking into your ads that is turning into clients or turning it into a lead for your business. Okay. So for this example, for every 10 clicks that we're getting, that means we're getting about 3 leads for our business. Most most ads that I've been in and looked at, the conversion rate average is around 12, 15%, 8%, and anything below 10% is just really low converting. On average, it's about 12 to 15%. So you need to shoot for 20% and above. And so we have the blueprint on getting a 30% conversion rate. And why is this metric important? Why am I bringing it up to you guys? This means that your competitor who might be a bigger plumbing business than you, who might be spending a lot more money than you, but if they are not converting at a high level, it just means that their cost per lead is going to be much higher, okay? Because they're not converting as well. So that means for you, if you have a high converting campaign and your systems are set up properly, that means that you are generating more leads, a more lead volume than they are at a much lower cost. Okay, so that means you're getting more bang for your buck. All right. So how do we achieve these numbers? Okay, how do we get a 30% conversion rate? Well, let's go ahead and jump in to my Google test ad account, and you guys can just follow along, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to set this up. All right. So first thing you want to do is create an ad account. Obviously, get into your Google Ads account. It should look something like this. And then what we want to do is we want to create a new campaign. So very simple. We're going to click the plus sign. We're going to hit campaign. All right, so you're going to get taken to a page like this. It's going to ask you what your campaign's objective is, and we're going to go for leads, okay? That is what we're going for. Now, down here, there's going to be a lot of campaign types for you to pick from, and Google is always changing this around and things like that. They're trying to add more features, but what we want to go for is search, okay? And a lot of times, Google reps are going to try to get in contact with you and try to give you these suggestions on improving your performance. However, everybody in the Google Ads community knows that never listen to a Google rep manager, okay? Their job is to get their advertisers to spend more money on Google's platform. So anytime that you're taking advice from a Google rep, chances are they are just trying to get you to spend more or making tweaks to your campaign so that they have more control of your campaign. And so that means you're going to be spending more on their platform. And that's how their success of these Google reps are measured by Google is how much are they getting their advertisers to spend more on their platforms. Okay, so number one rule: don't listen to Google reps. All right, so just go ahead and follow along this video here. So we're gonna go for search. Don't worry about this for now. We're gonna hit continue. We're going to name it the campaign. You can just name it whatever it is that you want. Plumbing JLE tests. We're gonna hit continue. We're gonna hit a goal here. So Google is always adding more options and things like that. So you'll be able to kind of see what's going on here. So from here, form submissions, we want phone calls from our ads. Like I said, don't worry about too much about this because we're gonna be able to make tweaks later on. So we're gonna hit continue. We're going to hit start new. Okay, so the bidding strategy here. Okay, so Google, like I said, hides a lot of features, okay? And our primary bidding strategy whenever we work with clients is we want to focus on manual cost per click, okay? Which means we have control of how much we want to pay per click. Now, Google doesn't give us that option here is because they want to be in control of your ads as much as possible, right? So either conversions or clicks is usually what's good to start with if you don't want to do manual cost per click. Um, so it really doesn't matter. You can go with conversions or clicks. Let's just say our goal is conversions for now, okay? Set target cost per action. Don't worry about this. What this means is basically you're telling Google, hey, this is how much I want to spend um, per acquisition, okay, per lead. But however, since this is a new campaign, Google doesn't know what your cost per conversion is, okay? Or in this case, cost per action. Action just means whatever you define it as, okay? Because so you could define your action as a phone call. You could define your action as a submitted lead form, okay? So in our case, what we refer cost per action is cost per lead, okay? Someone that either picks up the phone and calls you directly or fills out a form that gets sent to your intake, okay? But because since this is a new campaign, we don't have any data inside this campaign yet, so we're unable to tell Google, hey, go out and get us leads for $20, right? Because we don't have any data on it. And if we bid too low, let's just say if we're like, hey, Google, go out and find us leads for $1, chances are we're not going to see any type of traffic, okay? Because our bidding strategy is too low. But let's just say you get it wrong and you just throw out a random number out there. And let's say you're like, hey, I'm willing to pay, I don't know, $500 for a lead, okay? And this might mean that you might be overpaying for leads because you're being too aggressive with your bidding strategy. All right. So later on, we would know once you run your ads, we will have data. And then we can use that data to tell Google, hey, this is what our cost per lead is. So go out there and find me leads for this much. Okay. So don't worry about this too much for now. You can just leave it off. We're going to hit next. We want to uncheck this. Don't include Google search partners. We're going to go to location options. Remember, Google hides a lot of things, and we only want to target people who are in or regularly in our included locations. All right. And then from here, enter another location. We're going to go to advanced search. In the locations, you can type in the areas that you target. Okay. And if you have and if you have a lot of data, just because maybe you've been in business for a while and you have a big list of zip codes that converts really well for your business. So for whatever reason, these are like the list of zip codes that you make a lot of sales in, then just copy all those zip codes and then paste it into here with the bulk check mark on, okay? And then what's Google going to do is basically show your ads in the zip codes area where converts, okay? But in the case that you don't have that, that's totally fine. Just enter the multiple locations in that you target. So for example, if you are in Los Angeles and you target all of Los Angeles, okay? We would type in Los Angeles, hit include. So we're targeting all of Los Angeles. If you target Orange County, the whole county of Orange County, we can just type that in and we could target it like that as well. Typically, what I like to do is break apart our target locations, right? So if you're in Los Angeles, let's say we do, I don't know, we want to target Hollywood. We want to do, whoops, that's in Florida. Hollywood, uh, Hollywood, California. There we go. So there's Hollywood. Let's say we want to target Malibu, right? So I kind of like to break it up just because then when you go into your dashboard, it's going to show you which locations are converting, okay? Which locations are producing phone calls, which locations are not. And then that way you can kind of just like focus more on the areas that are producing leads compared to the ones that aren't. All right, so I'm just gonna make this simple for now. Let's just say we are targeting all of Los Angeles. Okay, so we're gonna include, or let's go to Miami. Feeling Miami vibes. Okay, let's go to Miami here. We're gonna target all of Miami. There we go. All of Miami. Perfect. We're gonna hit save. People in or regularly in our target location. Um, Google's been trying to push this a little bit more with targeting broad match keywords. I don't like to target broad match keywords, especially when you're just starting a new campaign, just because, like I said, when you're running ads, it comes down to data, right? When you are running ads, you're essentially buying data. You're technically not paying, you're not running ads to get leads, even though that's our final goal. But when you're running ads, essentially you are buying data and you're feeding that data back into Google's algorithm to tell Google, hey, this is what I want, right? Because your new campaign, Google doesn't know what it is that you want. They don't know that you want leads. It doesn't know that you want, it doesn't know what a lead is to your business yet. Okay. So when we are able to define that and get more data on that, that's when Google's algorithm gets smarter and your campaign's performance gets more consistent and improves over time. And it's all through data. All right. And the reason why I don't like to run broad match keywords is because you're going to get a lot of irrelevant traffic. So for those of you that have ran Google Ads campaign in the past, or maybe your marketing company has done it, um, and you're like, hey, I'm getting a bunch of irrelevant calls that are people who are looking for jobs, right? Like looking to work for a plumbing company, people who are out of your area, people who are inquiring about services that you don't even provide. Typically, that is coming from your broad match keywords. Okay. So we always like to start off our campaigns very tight and target our most high intent customers. Okay. And then from there, we can start expanding a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more to get more traffic in order to scale our campaigns. But in the beginning, it's very important to keep your campaign tight and really telling Google and really just trying to define and tell Google to get your highest intent customers first. And then from there, we can start expanding services, locations, and all that good stuff. Okay. More settings, we can just leave that as that. Ad schedule, really important, guys. A lot of business owners, they'll run the ads 24/7. They're, even though someone's not available to pick up the phone and talk to these leads, it is very important that you run your ads during um, during business hours or whenever you have someone trained and available, be able to pick up the phone and talk to leads. If no one is available to pick up the phone, then don't run it during those days. Okay. So run it during the days where you have someone trained and available, pick up the phone. I've worked with plumbing, we've had plumbing partners where, his girlfriend was picking up the phone or his mother was picking up the phone. And they would just have these conversations with leads. It was like 30 minutes conversations, even though it should really take maybe 5 to 10 minutes, like max. Okay. So anything above 10 minutes, like now we're just having a conversation. Okay. We want to be able to book that lead in and schedule something within the first 5 minutes of that conversation. Okay. And you need someone trained and available, some type of sales script in order to book these appointments in. So it could be Monday through Friday. It could be from, I don't know, 9 a.m. to whenever. Okay. So just set the time that you want to run your ads. Ad rotation, we just keep it optimized, show our best performing ads. We're gonna click next and then final URL, get help creating your ad. So from here, I'm just gonna skip this part. You guys can read more into that if you want, but I like to do it the old school way, just manual, sticking with it here. And the cool thing about Google now is that they've integrated AI a little bit more into the platform. So you can get ideas from Google's AI to assist you with, writing copy, coming up with keywords and things like that. However, uh, don't make your final decision based on what AI suggestions are. Okay. These are just suggestions, but you know your business the best. You know what it is that you want. So tell Google what it is that you want and take these ideas as just ideas. Right. So from here, ad group number one. Okay. So I like to break down this down um, as simple as possible for you guys. Let's say our campaign is our house, okay? And inside our house, there's multiple rooms inside of our house, okay? And each room is a very specific service that we are advertising, okay? So for example, in room number one here, which is the ad group, we're not going to combine drains, emergency hydrogen services, sewer services, water heater services in one room. Okay. And the reason for that is because our relevant score, our quality score is going to drop. Okay. Because if someone searches up, um, drain plumber near me, we don't want it needs to be all about drain cleaning and drain um, keywords and ads. Okay. We don't want someone to search up water heater and it's talking about drain cleaning, which is why we want to break these up into its own rooms. Okay. So ad group number one is room number one. And let's say in room number one, we want to target water heater repairs. Okay. And even in that category, water heater repair, water heater installation, those are two different services, okay? And those needs to be in its own room. So the more that we can break it apart and be very, very specific, the better our campaign is going to perform, okay? So don't be broad with it, get very specific. And keywords, guys, it's not rocket science. Just target what it is that you want to show up for, okay? So, for example, water heater repair near me, okay? That is an example of a high intent keyword. Water heater repair uh, plumber near me, okay? These are high intent keywords. These are keywords that people search this up. Chances are they are looking to hire someone to fix their water heater, okay? Um, fix my water heater, okay? Things like that, all right? And then we can enter our products or services here to get more ideas. So water heater, and let's go ahead and update keyword suggestions. It's gonna get rid of all of this. It's gonna give us a list of keywords here, okay? So really cool. Google's AI is going to tell us, hey, this is what, um, these are the keywords it suggests. Now, like I said, go in here and, um, you know, really do your due diligence, okay? So gas heater repair, heater technician, water heater plumber near me, water heater, tankless, water heater maintenance, water heater service, water heater repair. Okay, so I would even throw in more like repair words in here, water heater repair service near me. I think that's gonna be even more specific, but It may or may not make the biggest difference, but like I said, just try to be as specific as possible. Now, from here, there are three different types of keywords. There are broad match, which is spelled out like this. There is phrase match, which is in parentheses. And lastly, the ones in brackets are exact match. Okay. And so the difference between these three keywords here is the first one is broad match, okay? So no special characters around it, which means if you're targeting water heater, like this, the keyword, then Google is going to show your ad to anyone who is searching up for water heater related things. So whatever Google thinks is related to water heater, um, your ad is going to show. The second keyword is a phrase match, which means this so if anytime someone searches up this word in this order, then your ad's going to show up. So for example, if someone searches up um, how to fix my water heater, your ad's going to show up. Okay. Water heater near me. Okay. Your ad's going to show up. Top 10 water heater. Okay. Your ad's going to show up. Okay. So whenever's in that order. Exact match just means as what it is, right? Someone has to search exactly this in order for your ad to show up. So I typically like to just target phrase match and exact match, especially when you're starting a new campaign, because then you have a little bit more control of what your ads are showing up for. Over the time, Google has been a little bit more broad with these, even though they're in phrase and exact match, your ads will still show up more often. But I will show you guys how to reduce that and make sure that your ads are just showing up to your highly intent customers. Okay. So typically when we're targeting these keywords here, I like to put it in either parentheses or I like to put it in brackets, okay? And I don't like to leave it just as this because it's a broad match keyword. So do phrase match or exact match, and that's going to um, help you guys out with better quality, okay? So I'm not gonna go dive in and type it all out, but that is what you wanna do, okay? So water heater. And then if you guys create another second ad group, which you don't have the option to yet, but when you do later, you would create another ad group with whatever service that it is that you want. So for example, if it's hydrojetting, then we would create a room called hydrojetting, which is a different ad group. Okay, and then same thing, right? Here, hydrojetting near me, hydrojetting plumber, hydrojet plumber. Okay, things of that nature. These are all great keywords to target. Ad copy. Now, ad copy is really important, guys. When it goes to ad copy, what you want to do is have really, really good headlines, okay? Um, and this looks like a call ad, so we're going to cancel that for now. It should give you an option to write responsive search ads, but Google's been hiding a lot of things lately. So if you watch this video, it's going to definitely help you guys out. So in this case, just go ahead and skip that. I'm going to show you guys how to write actual good ads. Okay. So here we go. Daily budget for the campaign. Now, I don't know why Google recommends just um, $5 per day because you're not going to see any type of uh, leads coming in. So what you actually want to do is have a minimum budget of, depending on where you're at, depending on how competitive your area is, uh, how much volume, how much traffic, what your population in your city is. Uh, I would say typically the bare minimum to run ads on Google to get enough data, see data, and see some type of action going on, I would recommend a minimum budget of like $1,500 per month. Okay. Now it depends on how aggressive you guys want to be as well. If you want to see more calls, obviously allocate a bigger budget towards your campaign. So let's just say we're going to set a custom budget. Let's just say that our monthly budget is $2,500 for the month. Okay. So what we would do is take $2,500 and divide that by 30. Okay, because we are running ads for 30 days. So our daily budget would be $83 per day. Okay. Now, really important, if we are running our ads just during business hour days. So let's just say we're running as Monday through Fridays. That's 5 days a week, and there's 4 weeks in a month. So that means in a single month, we are running ads for 20 days. Okay. So 2,500 divided by 20 days, which is how many days we're running ads for, our daily budget is $125. So that's how we set up our monthly budget correctly in order for it to spend your monthly budget. Okay. Not a lot of people know this. They'll just like put in, I don't know, they'll put in their daily budget as I want to spend $50 a day. Okay. So really, we need to think backwards. Okay. We need to think about how much our budget is that we're allocating and then do the math on that. So let's say our monthly budget is $3,000. I have my calculator here. Um, $3,000. And let's just say we're running ads for 3 days a week. Okay. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. 3 days a week times 4 weeks is 12, right? So that means in a month, we are running 12 days. So 3,000, divide that by 12. Our daily budget is $250. And that's going to spend your $3,000 a month. Okay. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and publish the campaign. There we go. It is published. So congratulations, you are published. Now, that is just the first step, guys, on the Google campaign part, okay? It's very important that you watch this whole entire video because there's so much more tricks in order to have a successful campaign, okay? So from here, I'm going to go into my ad schedule, okay, just to make sure, right? So if my budget is $250 a day, that means I only want to run ads for 3 days a week to stay within my $3,000 budget. So that means we got to start getting rid of these days, right? Because otherwise we're going to be overspending. So I'm going to remove some days from the ad schedule here. And that means we are now running only 3 days a week, as you can see here, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from 9 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. Now, if you click on that pencil button, you can change it to 12-hour clock, and then you can change your hours there. Locations, just want to make sure here we are targeting Miami, which is great. And then we can go click on this tab to start excluding areas. Okay, so for some reason, let's just say you don't want to go to Hollywood. Okay, Hollywood and Florida. So we're going to go ahead and exclude that. So that means Google is not going to show your ads to people in Hollywood. Now, I get it. Even though you're just targeting Miami here, sometimes Google is just going to try to push traffic on you. I like to just be safe and just start excluding areas that I don't want to go to, right? And there might be some areas within Miami that you don't want to go to, right? You don't want to service that area for whatever reason. You can then type in that city and exclude it here as well. Okay. Search keywords. Okay. So keywords, we already kind of talked about a little bit here. That's that. And then there's this tab right here called negative search keywords. Okay. Now, this is how you reduce bad searches, okay, bad quality clicks and things like that. So for example, we are targeting hydrojetting plumber, okay, but let's say someone searches up best hydrojetting plumber in the US, okay, or hydrojetting plumber schools, okay, because technically your ad would still show up, right? Hydrojetting plumber schools, okay, certifications, jobs, right? Your ad is going to still show up, and we want to have a large negative keywords list to exclude certain keywords, right? So, for example, if we have the negative word jobs, anytime someone searches up jobs, your ad isn't going to show up. Okay. So drain, plumbing, jobs, whatever it is, right? Anything with jobs, your ad's not going to show up. Home Depot, Lowe's, um, they might search up your competitor names, right? We don't want to pop up for that. So those are all negative keywords that we want to include here so that our ads aren't showing up. Okay. This is how we reduce bad quality clicks, bad quality leads, And this is how we were able to have a much higher conversion rate and better lead quality. Okay. So I mean, for us, we have over 2,000 negative keywords. So, and that's just because we have such a large amount of data. And every single day we're getting in here and we're looking at what people are searching up and we're adding those irrelevant search terms into the negative keywords. So if you need help with, us setting all this up, this is definitely something that we work to. We can help you guys out. I'm going to leave a link in the description. You can book a call with me and my team, and then we'll go over a strategy on how we can implement the system and give you the blueprint on running your ads to scale your business. All right. So from here, we have audience, search tabs. I like to just go through all these tabs and make sure everything is set up properly. Okay. So from here, we haven't written our ads. So we're going to click on the plus sign here, go here. And then I don't know why it doesn't give us this um, responsive search ads option, which is like weird. Um, but anyways, you should be getting a responsive search ad. I don't know why it's not popping up here. It's really odd. It's making you do like a call ad, which is super weird. Calls from ads. So let's go to here. I want to show you guys the settings part. We're going to go to, we're going to click on campaigns. We're going to go back to campaigns actually. This is actually a new interface that Google is doing. And then we're going to click on settings right here. Okay, so we want to check that our settings is correctly, our conversion goals. We can just leave all this as is. Maximize conversion. So before I talked about how we can change your bidding strategy to have more control of what you're paying per click. And in order to do that, we can just change our bidding strategy, click here or right here, which is not recommended by Google, right? Because they don't want you to be in control of your own ads. We're going to click on that. And at the bottom here, manual CPC, and we're going to hit save. Right. So this gives you the option to be more hands-on with your campaign. Now, if you don't have the time to take a look at your Google ads and you're like, hey, Google, just do the bidding for me, then we can change that back to either maximize clicks or maximize conversions. Okay. And then Google would do the bidding for you, but you run the risk of, maybe overpaying or just giving Google more control of your campaign. Right. So for us, having a marketing agency that knows what they're doing, going in and do the bidding for you, you can kind of mitigate that, right? Without not having to worry about overspending or maybe not spending enough to get that call volume that you need. So for us, we like to go manual CPC. All right. So that's that. Anything else we want to go over here? Ad rotations, ads. So for whatever reason, Google isn't giving me the option to create our actual ad copies. And they're making you do a call ad first, and I'm unable to do that because I don't have a URL here. So I'll just go through it anyways. So just go ahead and put in your call, your phone number here, put your URL there, and then for all these boxes, you want to fill it out as much as possible. Okay, so for example, this is about hydrojetting, then we're gonna put hydrojetting there, and then maybe some type of incentive here. So like free estimates. Now, headline number one, I like to do these headlines um, very structured. So headline number one is usually going to be who you are, what you do, or like if you have a special offer or something like that. Okay. So for this example, let's just say we are Miami's, I don't know, number one Miami hydrojetting plumbers. Whoops. Hydrojetting plumber. Okay. So we filled out all 30 characters. Um, and we are number one in Miami. This is going to tell people that we're in Miami and we're number one. Don't just put hydrojetting plumber, okay, or hydrojets, because this is too plain. This isn't going to help your ad stand out from other ad copies. Okay, so give it a little bit of flair. Number one, Miami hydrojetting. Okay, something along those lines. Hydrojetting plumber. So get creative with it. Headline number two is usually my call to action, or if we didn't already put the special offer incentive in the first headline, I would then put in the second headline. So let's just say that you have a special offer for hydrojetting, and your offer is $295 um, hydrojetting same day. Okay, something like that. Okay, so let's say that's our incentive, that's our special offer. Okay, 295 hydrojetting same day, and then your business name, and then you can write your descriptions, which you get 90 characters. Okay, so for this one, I don't know, you can just make it up. Number one, Miami hydro, or number one hydrojetting plumber in Miami. Okay. So write about your features, incentive, offers, call to actions in these descriptions, and then hit save ad. Okay. And then maybe it'll allow you to write some responsive search ads, which is pretty similar. And then you would kind of just follow that same structure, same rule, but just use different headlines so that way you can split test, which headlines work the best. So from here, what we're going to do is make sure our trackings is good. Okay. So we're going to go to goals. We're going to go to conversions. We're going to hit summary. So most business owners are flying blind when they're running ads on Google. And it's like I've talked to so many clients where they don't know where the calls are coming from, or they don't know how many calls they generated. They just know that they're running ads, but they don't know how many calls the ads generated for them. And we need to be tracking all of this, okay? Because if we're not tracking, we're unable to send that data back into Google so that it knows and defines what a conversion is to you. So when we tell Google, hey, a phone call for our business is a conversion, okay? And then the more conversions you get, Google is going to get smarter. It's going to go out there and find more of that conversion, which you've defined as a phone call, okay? And then over time, you get more phone calls at a lower cost. So in order to do that, you need to have, number one, a tracking number, okay? If you're not using a tracking number specifically for Google, you need to get a tracking number, okay? And this means anytime someone calls that number, you know that it came from Google. So we're gonna hit the plus sign. We're gonna do phone calls here, calls to a phone number on your website. And then from here, we're just gonna name it calls from website. Okay. We're not gonna use a value. We're just gonna count number one, destination number. Uh, what is the phone number callers should reach when they called it from your website? I like to just put the tracking numbers right into here. So whatever your tracking number is, go ahead and copy and paste that into there. The call length, you can leave this at 60 seconds, 30 seconds, or 1 second. This means that the call has to last this long in order for it to count as a conversion, okay? So if the call lasts for 1 second or more, it's counted as conversion. If it lasts 30 seconds more, it's gonna count as conversion. This is important because not every single call is going to be a qualified good lead. So we know that if calls only last, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds, chances are it wasn't a good lead. Okay. So from here, when we're defining what a lead is to us, um, Google is going to get smarter and go out there and get more of that for us. So typically, we know that if we have a 30-second conversation with someone, then it's a good lead. And maybe they did or they didn't book a service, but they were still someone who was inquiring for a service. Okay, so from here, we're going to hit create and continue. Um, let's put in a random number here. Okay, there we go. And hit create and continue. We're going to install the tag. From here, this tag goes on to the header of your landing page. If you don't know how to do it, just have your web developer copy and paste this code there on the header, and then this code as well on the header of wherever you're sending your traffic to. Okay, so this is going to enable the the tracking. So anytime someone goes onto your landing page with this code, they call that number, it'll be marked as a conversion and it'll send that data back to your Google Ads dashboard. And that's how your algorithms get smarter. It's going to count all that. And then you want to do the same thing, but for website here. I'm not going to go through that in this video, but it's essentially pretty much the same. And this one, you can track people who submit a lead form. Okay, so the code would then go on the thank you page of your page, so that's whenever someone fills out a form on your landing page, they get taken to a thank you page, and we know that everyone that lands on the thank you page had to fill out that form. So everyone that lands on a thank you page, let's mark that as a lead and count that as a conversion towards our Google Ads. All right. Now, lastly, guys, before I end this video, lastly, super important, let's talk about ads. Okay. So, for example, I searched up drain cleaning near me on Google. Okay. First four links are your ads. Okay. Then we have your businesses, we have frequently asked questions. Yelp is usually going to be like the first organic one, and then everybody else here is what ranked on SEO. Okay. So that's why it is very, very tough to um, get leads relying on just SEO, because you're all the way down here and the people who are paying to just skip the line and assuming that you have everything set properly, you get to show up at the top of the page on Google. And this is how you get a lot of call volume. Okay. So now, depending on your offer, okay, that's the other thing too. So if you have a good offer, you're going to get more volume of leads. Okay. So out of all of these, right, as you can see, they all have some type of dollar sign on dollar amount. Okay. We have $60, $49, 0, and 93. These are all really good offers. And so the better offer you have, the more leads you're going to get, obviously, right? So out of all these, I mean, I think these are all great, to be honest. So I don't have any issues with those. But let's just say like you have, um, if we look at next gen's offer here, right? $88 drink theme special. But right up here, we have 60, 49, and even a zero service call. Chances are I'm probably going to call these three people up first before calling next gen, assuming that I'm not looking to work with next gen specifically. Okay. I'm just looking for the best offer out there. And the best offer is going to get you guys more lead volume. It's going to give you guys more opportunities to get your foot in the door with new customers. And then from there, you can really assess their situation, and then be able to upsell them and see if there are possible bigger jobs out of that. So the money isn't really made in the upfront here, right? So you might be charging $49 and you might be losing money, some money going out to some new customers, but you are going to get more. If you play the numbers game, you get more opportunities at getting bigger jobs. Okay. And let's just say you do happen to get a low ticket customer. Okay. You charge $49, you get like a small job out of it. Chances are, assuming that you did a good job, you connected with the customer, these people are going to be repeat customers, which means the lifetime value of that customer who is a repeat and sends you referrals, you're going to make money that way. Okay. So there's multiple ways on doing it. Don't just think about how to make money on the front end right away. Think about the back end and the lifetime value of each customer. Okay. So that's the offer part. Now, lastly, here is I want to talk about the landing page. And most business owners are going to send traffic to their website. Okay, so if I click on these ads, or if you're running ads, chances are you might be running it to a website or a landing page that doesn't convert. Okay, so for example, let's look at these four ads. Okay, so we have number one here, not too bad. It's kind of long, and this is an example of a this is a solid landing page. I think there's a lot going on, but solid landing page. Here is a website. Okay, this is an example of a website, and this is probably very typical for most of you guys that are running ads. If you're sending your traffic to a website isn't designed to convert internet traffic into leads for your business. because there's just a lot of information, a lot of distractions. They can click around and look at all this stuff. Okay. And the key to that, and the reason for this is because most people who are searching for things on Google, they have the attention span of literally a goldfish. Okay, so that means you have 7 seconds to convert that person on your page into a lead for your business. However, it takes about 2 to 3 seconds for your website to actually load, which means you're left with about 4 to 5 seconds to convert that person to a lead for your business. But if you have all these links, you have these pop-ups and all these cool widgets and things like that on your website, you're going to surpass that 45 seconds. And that's why your conversion rate is below 10%. Okay. And we need to get that up to 30%. So here's another example here. Good landing page, right? And so what is a landing page exactly? A landing page is designed specifically to get the visitor to do one of two actions, right? And so on this website here, I could click on this link, I could click on that link, and this link has a bunch, like 10 more links, and this link has 2 links. The about page has like 8 more links, right? So there's a lot of things that we can click on, okay? I can go on Facebook, I can go on Instagram, I can look them up on LinkedIn, okay? Now on this page, I can't do any of that, okay? All I can do is either schedule online or call directly, okay? That's all I could do here, okay? As you can see throughout the page, call or book. I can't click around. If I click on this, it doesn't take me anywhere. I can either call them or book online. That's all I can do here. Okay. So they don't have social media. So this is an example of a really good landing page, and this is going to be high converting. Okay. They even have a video right here to show proof, credibility that they're a real legit business. There's faces, there's like a person, there's the team, there's the van. So these are actual real people. Um, Real people, real jobs. They've actually worked on sites, as you can see here with their logo, the branding, the names and stuff like that. So this is a great example of someone who is doing it really well. They have a video too, someone that's doing it really well with the ads, okay? And then this one, obviously, this one looks a little bit more fancy and things like that, but this page is going to convert just as well, okay? They have a picture of the plumber, the van, and like I said, you can only do just a few things here. You can either fill out the form or call, right? I can't click around and things like that, okay? Can't click around. And those are my only options. For here, this is an example of something that's not going to work. And then this one is pretty solid too. It's not too bad. There's only 3 links. I would probably get rid of those links. But overall, not bad. A lot of pictures, right? Just pictures of the plumber working sites to show that these are real people who actually, who's a real business. So this is exactly how we've been able to get 30% conversion rate or more. This is how we've been able to spend $12 million to find all this information. So if this helped you whatsoever, drop a thumbs up. And if you want me and my team to set this up for you, and so that we can just skip the learning curve, not have to worry about this, and save a lot of time and money, and you want to just start growing your plumbing business and start generating calls within 48 hours, then I highly, highly suggest you book a call with me and my team. This is exactly what we do. And then we would basically just plug in a system that's already working for our clients into your business, and you will start seeing results very, very quickly, right? So I'm going to leave that link in the description so that way you can schedule a call with me. And I look forward to partnering with you guys.